A little dog out there howling right now. We just
Mine
talking
will
about
start
barking
barking in a
dogs.
minute. Yeah, she comes around to all three doors barking.
To coal or not to coal? That is the question. And I think
Cut his
it,
freaking head off. Oh,
it's a it's something that you don't talk about, especially on the internet, because I think when most people say the word coal, I think you're just taking them out back under the tree and put a bullet in their head and call it a day.
and that's
But
not always the best option either. There's
that's
always
not.
somebody that may take that dog. You
Oh yeah, I mean it doesn't mean euthanasia right away. You could
know,
sell it as a pleasure dog. You could um, put it in a pet home. I've gave a lot of hounds away to a pet home. You just kind of take it out of the breeding program, right?
at least out of yours.
Yeah, out of yours. And I think the worst part of culling is when. It's not how, it's when.
And I think like that goes back to kind of what we were talking about backstage. Is the dog's progression and the pros versus the cons, and how much are you willing to put up with to get to the point where it actually does something.
Well, and if I mean, how many people in this audience or just in general have a dog you just don't like? You can't stand. You don't like his bark. You don't like the way he walks. You don't like the way he trails. You don't like the way he trees. I mean, how many people I got dogs I hear his bark and I'm just like, oh, I hate that dog. And it's all because they're like a puppy or they're out on the chain or out in the kennel or out in your yard barking. They bark, 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 bark. You know, I have a guy getting in the puppy. He's like, how do you get him to stop barking? I said, let's go through the list. I've been told if they're barking, you go out there, grab their head, hold it underwater. Hold it underwater and then they do it again. You hold their heads underwater. That's old school stuff. You
I
know,
like a water hose. You spray them with water hose, and it breaks them pretty easy.
I am a Daisy BB gun trainer. I've always done it. I shoot my kids with the BB gun. We have BB gun wars. I've been shot the BB gun, so it's not like I'm out there doing something I wouldn't do. You know,
But Juliana saying bark collar. I'm not a fan of a bark collar. They'll learn that they've got it on, and you got to go
now,
old school and build a dummy collar in order to make them think that they still got it. It's
well, how many times have you went out and put a bark collar or a shock collar on a dog? I'm guilty of it. And that son of a gun will not bark.
until you take it off.
Yeah, and you'll take it off, and before you get back to the house, that dog's barking. They're smart. They know.
I had one that I put a bark collar on, and it ruined her. She wouldn't bark on track or tree. Took her a while to get out of that.
Yeah, literally my Daisy. I mean, literally my Daisy BB gun is right next to me. If a pig wants to be a hole before dinner, an a hole. um, here's the thing with dogs, especially when we're talking about barking. My dogs are in a set of trees, cedar trees. You can't see my dogs. It blocks a lot of the sound. I actually had to move them behind my house because I had them on another part of my property, and I'm a super light sleeper. I'm a panic person, anyways. I could hear them coming in and out on their chain, and their the chain rubbing on the dog box, and it would wake me up. So I put them in the back. I can still hear them. I'll still wake up when I get a lone pup or a dog dumped his water and I didn't water him that day because he keeps dumping his water. And which would be Wayne Bisbee's dog I've had for a year. That sucker. I get a lot of these cool little 3.5 gallon buckets from ADOT, and they're the old pavement buckets, pavement patch. And you take some gasoline and you wash out all the tar, and it's real easy. then you take some soap and water and you wash the crap out of them. And I have to screw them to the trees on some pups. Because even if I had a flat bowl, I had a big, it didn't matter. We put rocks in bowls. And them dogs, they'll get that water turned over. And it drives me crazy. And I won't water them. I won't water them. I won't water them for the rest of that day, maybe the next day until I feed again. And they'll do it again. You'll feed them water, and you'll go in the house, come back out, and it's dumped over.
That's a pet peeve of mine. I can't stand one playing in its water, and I got 3 of them.
But and that goes into, yes, Madison's dog. Yes, Wayne, Madison's dog. I haven't really worked with that dog. I think it's going to be a good dog. I took it to the Hound trials a couple times. I've took it out a couple times, but I haven't even took my dogs out a couple times. The brother went somewhere else. Put the water bucket in a car. Tire change to help mine not dumping it. Oh, I screw mine to the cedar trees. Then if it gets too dirty, I just unscrew it and wash it out. But anyway, back to the topic. It's just you got those dogs that do those things, and when you do what I do, I don't buy dogs. I have a hard time taking dogs. I mean, even Ryan's dog, it was raised with Ryan 3 months. It's a big difference. It's like getting a kid that's raised for the first 3 years by somebody. And then they come to your house and they have to kind of learn the rules and how the other dogs act and treat it. She's a quick learner. She'll more likely be a good dog. She just has those little traits. And I don't know. It's probably just me being picky. But how long do you let this stuff go before? How picky can you be? I can be picky because I have a whole litter. And I just don't like getting dogs from someone else. I've done it.
See, that's like me. I don't have a whole lot of litters, so I've got to be a little bit more patient.
Yeah.
You know? So. And
maybe I don't know how to train a dog I get from somebody that's 3, 4, 5 months old. You know, because I've always had them. And my kids do 80% of the training before they're 3 months old. You know, the whole neurological response, whatever they call it, you know, playing with them and getting them to get used to people. My kids do all that. My kids drag the string around, you know, with a sin on it. You know, they do all that. So, yeah, that's what keeps dog traders in business. Let me go back up here. I'm missing a bunch of comments. Daisy. My Daisy. Oh, I go back to where I started. I jump around. My kids will go feeding one of those dogs. They won't shut up. I walk through those trees, and they shut up right away. They all know. I can sit out here in my office and say shut up, and they all shut up. But my kids let them bark. It drives me crazy. But I walk out there, and they all know better. So those dogs are smart enough to know that when you put that shock collar on them, you're going to get shocked. You know, even a dummy one, you put that dummy shock collar on them, they're going to learn nothing's going to happen.
See, I've got a cat. Well, actually, I've got 6 cats up there, mama and 5 little ones that don't come out till it's feed time. So the dogs get in trouble because they go to barking at the stinking cats, and then they get sprayed with a water hose.
Yeah.
And then they generally shut up until I start rattling that feed bucket, and then that pot's going to open up and start barking.
Drop my tailgate, the worst one is my horse trailer. They hear that creaking door open. Gosh dang. They know I'm doing something because most time when I'm messing with the horse trailer, we're going somewhere. But Dunbar. I always think of that. Every time I think of that, I think of Long Dance with Wolves. And this is a fact. I've had guys give me a dog and say, I can't stand this dog. It don't do nothing. There ain't nothing wrong with giving a dog a chance because you drop it with another pack, just like a school kid. In school, what did you have? You had the stoners, the metalheads, you had the jocks, the nerds, you had the chess club people, which were part of the nerds. They all have their little group. And I think sometimes a dog just born, even in your own pack, and it's not part of that group. But you dump it with another pack or another person, and it just comfortable. It's like a dog you don't like or a dog you do like. I think as humans we're visually accepted before we're mentally accepted, because you see a dog, leopard cur, beautiful dogs, dude. Some of them dogs are cool as shit. The colors. Some people like black and tans, poor Jared. Some people like walkers, blue ticks. So visually, we look for that dog we like when you go get a puppy, because you never know how they're going to turn out anyways. When you go to someone's house or someone gives you a puppy, you don't know how they're going to turn out. So you kind of, here's with bird dogs. I know Jared Fisher gets on me a lot when I compare, but it's all the same in my opinion. You go to if you're buying a bird dog, let's say a lab retriever. I'm not talking like a pointer, all them fancy dogs. I'm talking just plain old go fetch my duck and dove bird dog. We go there, put them on a table, put a chair next to it, see which one just jumps off the table or the chair, or one that tries to find a way off the table and chair. I use that as intelligence. And if that dog wouldn't just jump off that table, it would go to the chair, the way down and get off. I thought it was a smart dog. That's how I did bird dogs, But how do you do that with hounds? You're not looking for it. I mean, if you're picking a hound, most of the time people will just give you a hound. Like Ryan, he gave me a hound. He said, I think the color, as far as like heat, and this is the best match for you. So I have to take Ryan's word for it, But even when you go to pick out from a litter, like how do you pick a hound dog? Do you take a piece of hot dog and drag it, or a piece of scent? We sprayed scent on a rag and walked into a dog pound, and there was a hound there. And when we walked by, he kind of barked and opened up. So we paid $50 for him. He was like one of the best dry ground dogs we had.
Well, I know, what I do, if I'm buying a puppy or getting a puppy from somebody, I'm going there and I'm going to make them turn all them puppies loose. Whatever's left. If I'm the first pick or the last pick.
Yep.
I'm going to watch that dog. Most of the time, one of them's going to come to you and stay with you. That's the one that's going home with me.
Like you're the they choose you kind of deal.
They seem to do, but I used to pick the runts.
Dude, I love the runts. And it's like you can almost not go wrong with runts, right?
Yeah, no matter the sex, I just go with a runt. But I didn't have as good a luck as I have now about just letting the puppies pick me. I think
Jared would jump off. Okay, let's stop our conversation. I wish Jared. Where is Jared?
He's here. He's not missing in action anymore.
Oh, there he is.
We can take his picture off the milk carton.
Yeah, I sent him a link.
I mean, he's having to call, like he's using like satellite and.
Hey, I'm on the same network they are. I agree about
I think he got lost.
Jared, so Casey Fair. Diane, if anybody hadn't heard, I think everybody's probably heard, but Casey's wife, Diane, got ran over by a side-by-side, basically, right? I mean, that's whether a dog pushed the fuel, her grandkids, or Casey tried to take her out. Busted her hips up, her pelvic, had to have some surgeries. Now, when you talk to Casey and probably Diane, and I don't like bugging people when they're in the hospital. I'm sure she's getting tons of texts, and I will after a few days. But when you talk to them, they act like it's no big deal, right? You talk to Casey, and I was just like, holy moly.
Yeah, he was more worried about a line track they saw about a week ago.
And I think Diane told him,
He
don't
just
worry about
rubbing
coming
it
down
in.
here. Yeah.
He was rubbing it in.
And I think Diane told Casey, don't worry about coming down tonight. I'm all right. But she's a tough gal. And they just act like, oh, another day in the woods. Got ran over. I'll be back. So I said, well, we can't make fun of her for driving fast now. We're gonna have to make fun of her for walking funny. So so Casey's or Diane's all right, if anybody hadn't heard. And then Jared had to step up and drag some horses down a hill. And Jared's not a pack master. He
is now. He's an expert horse tracker.
so and Jared said, I am no cowboy by far.
But Casey didn't have anything but praise for him. So
yeah.
Kudos to Jared for helping out.
Jared stepped up and put his big boy chaps on and drug horses down the hill, even though some of them made it back to the ranch before he did. And Jared said, I'll give you $100 come down and drive this truck down that hill. Because he was scared to death. They'll switchbacks and there's a big, truck and trailer. And, those roads are no joke when they're, when they're slippery.
Hell, I've driven up and down them when they're slippery, pulling a trailer.
Yeah. I pretty much know how to expect. However, each dog dig has different. Oh, yeah. No matter how many litters you have,
Casey made up a new song about Diana.
Granny got ran over by a ranger. We'll have to get Mike Leonard to make up a little jingle and sing it.
She's got a long road to hoe, though.
So anyways, Diane's okay.
Casey and Jared are going to starve.
Yeah. I told Casey, I said, let me know if there's anything I need to do, go down and change Jared's diapers while you and Diane aren't around.
You need to go cook for them. That's what you need to do.
That's what I do. I'll come down, Casey, and make you some tacos and tamales and all kinds of good stuff. Yep. So anyways, back to culling.
Hey, when they run these, and you're not
I don't think he brushed his hair either. I don't think Jared's had a haircut since he's been down there.
I haven't.
Jared, you were like the hero of the day.
Not even close. I just had a long day.
So I kept getting these. So what happened? I kept getting these Snapchats from Jared. The horses, the bridles were all hanging on the nose. I'm all, damn, he's pulling those horses, and they're all tangled up, and he's just talking crap. And then I get a call from Cody King. He says, how's Casey's wife? I said, I don't know. Well, she got in a wreck, an accident. I'm like, oh, shit, like on a horse? Because all I'm seeing is Jared's mess with horses everywhere. And then I get a call from Cody saying, is she all right? And I thought maybe they's out and, horse messed her up.
Yeah, he called me too. We fired Casey from PR work.
So, yeah. And then I tried to call Jared.
I had to call Diana to get anybody to answer the phone.
The one that was
she's
hurt.
over there broke up in the hospital, and she's the only one that answers the phone.
Well, I called Casey because I'm coming down to the shipping pens on this. It's not quite a switchback, but they kind of snake around. And I'm in 4 low with 5 horses on the trailer, and I can't stop. Like, I'm not locking the brakes up, obviously, because I don't want the trailer to catch up to me. And I go like 100 feet before I even get the truck stopped. And I call Casey, and I'm like, dude, I'm gouging ruts in the road, and I can't stop this horse trailer. And I'm like, do you want me to sleep in the truck for tonight? Because it'll be dry by tomorrow morning. And I can sleep in the truck and head out at like 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'll get to the ranch, like 8 miles away from the ranch house right now. And Casey, being Casey, told me, he's like, well, either get the truck stuck somehow and take the horses back, or just take the horses back. So I'm like, okay, I got to get the horses back tonight. So I sit there for like a couple hours. Road dries out a little bit better. I make it to the shipping pens, and that's it. So I'm still like 4.5, 5 miles from Casey's house. And I get everyone all hooked up. We start going. The first mile, I look like the real deal. Everyone's all lined out, all nice. And then Casey's colt is gelding, about, I don't know, Meatloaf's like 3 or 4 years old. Figures out we are going back to the ranch, and he's in the middle.
And he's going back to that
And
ranch.
He is going back to that ranch.
With or without you.
And that horse came up this red mare's butt, and the lead rope got underneath her tail. She went to kicking. He gunned it. She felt pressure on her saddle. She locked up all four, popped the front cinch, popped the breast collar off her. He took off running, carrying the saddle and another horse. They got wadded up in some cedars. I got them caught. I cut him loose and Lollipop loose, and I put the saddle on the edge of the road, and I kept going. And we were doing good. I had to, like you said, I had to fix some halters and stuff once I got on top of the mesa. And I get on top of the mesa. We're going. We're doing good. We get by his windsock there. And that lead mare that I was dragging, she wants to go back to the ranch, but she wants to go through the cedars and down the canyon to the ranch instead of taking the road. So I dally and I just pull her, try to get her pulled back to the road. Well, she sits back and fights a little bit, and then she comes to me, and I only took one wrap. Like, I didn't have anything crazy, you know, I wasn't tied off hard on her. And she came to me and then threw her head, and my wrap came off the horn. And next thing I know, she throws her head, and I lost the rope, and she goes dragging the other mare. And I'm like, well, they're all going to the ranch house now.
I'll meet you guys there.
Yeah. So me and Bucky just rode the road back to the ranch house, and then got them caught, put in the horse pasture. But yeah, that was eventful.
Sounds like a good time.
I had everyone there till the last half mile.
Then it was a race back. It was a race.
And then it was a race back to the ranch.
I think I told you, just let them go. They'll go back. Once you start throwing feed, they'll come in.
Well, it wasn't too bad. Casey's got a cattle guard right at that mesa.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as I got them, like, my biggest thing was, like, I just got to have everyone with me past that cattle guard. Once I get past the cattle guard, it's free shot.
They can go home.
Jared, we're going to get Dustin to make you I survived a Casey Fair shirt.
Right? You know,
That's a fact.
well, we had a bull get out, and I'm on my 2-year-old horse, which he does good lion hunting, but I've never roped anything off of him yet. And me and Casey go to catch this maverick, and he's like, "Bring your rope," and I'm like, "What am I gonna do with him?" And he's like, "Just rope him and then step off. Let the horse go." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. So I'm hard tied? You want me to hard tie to the saddle?" And he's like, "Yes." And I'm like, "This is a terrible idea." We didn't catch that bull, and we're riding back to the house, and me and Casey are going, and I'm like, "Casey, don't make fun of me, but I would rather be in a mine shaft with a lion and my pocket knife and my phone light.
Don't forget the rattlesnake. Don't forget the rattlesnake too.
And the rattlesnake."
Jared has figured out cowboying's fun just for a little bit. Then it's time to go. It's time to go line hunting.
Comb while he's down there.
Well, he made me work in the rain today. So it being wet.
Look at the bright side, Jared. You won't have to have a shower today.
That's true. I'm not going to.
He decided that a month ago. He don't need a shower. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Sarah's not there, so he's not going to shower.
Yep.
Not in this weather. Not in this weather.
You don't
Yep.
know wet.
You guys getting rain down there right now, Jared?
I think we got an inch today.
Oh yeah, I might lose power, but it's lightning and thundering here right now. Trying
Yeah, I
to.
had my horse tied because we had a bull keep coming in the yard, and Casey's like, "Hey, leave that horse tied with the saddle on. You can go haze him out of the yard when he shows up." I'm like, "Okay." And it wasn't a half hour later. It just dumps.
Yeah.
Like, he's a good horse, so he didn't do nothing, but I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, he's soaking wet, my saddle's soaked. I'm like, well, whatever.
Yep. How many times is Casey telling Jared to do something just see if he does it? And did he say I wouldn't have done that?
No. But, like, your mom would tell you, like, if your friend jumped off a cliff, would you jump off a cliff? And in my head, when Casey tells me to do something, when it comes to cowboying, I'm just like, this guy's had 34 major surgeries before he was 40. Is this a good idea?
Is he somebody I should be really listening to?
Yeah.
Yep. Let me see. See if we can get.
Yeah, Casey's using you for entertainment.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, it's next roundup's stories, Casey. Casey, this is fuel for Casey's stories at the rendezvous. Let me see. What's Casey doing? Nothing.
He's over on the couch.
Yo, got Diana back yet, or she's still in the hospital?
I think she's still in the hospital. We're ripping the bathroom apart right now for her.
She makes him change that bathroom out about once a year.
Well, we're doing it again.
Well, you got to make it ADA or what?
Yeah.
Handicap. Look like a golfer behind you without his cowboy hat.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, Casey, you need to get
Oh,
you
no.
one of them Harbor Freight winches to put in the ceiling so you can winch her up.
Yeah, we tore a bathtub out. We're gonna tile a shower tomorrow and cut a door out. Try to put a new door in. Like this,
It's a
all
whole
the stuff that he talked about that makes him worried. Yeah, wait till tomorrow. Then be worried.
Jared thought cowboying meant cows, but he didn't know it meant everything under the sun. My cousin cowboys, and I tell him all the time, you can keep that cowboying to yourself. I'll come out and help you brand every couple years or whatever, but God almighty.
I just dress like one.
Much of a hunting dog. Oh. Picked up my 2-year-old last year because the guy was going through a divorce, said she wasn't much of a hunting dog, but was turned on into a badass dog and wanted to build my first pack with her leading. That goes back to someone giving you a dog there. And if that guy's going through divorce, how much time did he spend with that dog?
Dude, my best dog came from a guy because he had a baby and he was selling out.
Is that the monkey dog?
No, this dog's dead. He's been dead for three.
Okay.
He caught monkeys though. Don't get me wrong.
He was the original monkey dog.
Yeah, he started it. But he was a tough bugger. I picked him up for $500, and he was out of Battleground, Washington. Trash. I mean, he'd run anything until he was 4 years old. He was a pain in the butt to hunt with, but
that last litter you had, that was an accident litter, right?
mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I got Hondo out of that one, that little red dog.
that's all out of my walker stuff that I had.
Man, she's a good little dog. He's a good little dog.
You
So-
got rid of that big horse walker dog you had, didn't you?
I didn't get rid of her. She's at Kyle's. Kyle needed some help. He was kind of covered up with some young dogs, so I gave him her.
That's the biggest gyp dog I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, she's huge. But her dad was like that, but he had tougher feet. You hunt her 3 days horseback, her feet are softballs. I mean, they're just swelled up. So, but her dad was the best bluff dog I ever had. I mean, he's like I caught a lion one day, and that's when I called Chris for a rappel rope because I had to go get him.
Well, you ought to have some bluff dogs right there where you're at right now. Casey's got some mountain goats out there on a chain.
Mm-hmm.
Accidental breedings.
No,
Goats.
damn dogs are just
Goats.
scale of just a chimney rock. Well, how the hell did they get up there?
So why do we keep dogs too long? Hope,
I think
sentimental attachment, too much money invested.
Time and money invested, I believe, is the biggest problem.
You know, do you think that she's going to turn the corner? He's going to turn the corner because he does just enough, right? How many of those dogs you had, Jared, that did just enough? And you're like, man, he's going to blow up. He's going to blow up. And how many dogs have you had do that and actually turn out something that you thought maybe you kept too long?
I'm the wrong person to ask that question to.
One's in the background, though, that can hear
it. Yeah. I don't keep past 2 unless I do what I'm liking.
Chris, here's you an update on Diana. She's got 2 pins in the lower hip, 2 pins in the back of the hip, 2 pins in the sacrum. They put 2 pins in the front of the hip that stick out the front, and there's a bar across it that keeps it from sliding. And my suggestion was that when we get her home on that rough road, you know, now we got something to ratchet strap her down to, that bar.
Did you tell him to leave some? Did you tell him to leave some hooks out?
What's that?
You tell him to leave some hooks out so you can strap her down?
Yeah, she literally, she's got a bar across her waist right there, 2 pins stick out the front. And I said, "Damn, we can, you know, get some bean bags and throw them in the back seat, wrap it, strap you down." And you know, I was thinking about telling you that, and I thought, man, that'd be a great place. I can say, "Here, hold my horse," you know. Looks like a hitching post.
Dally off on it.
Portable hitching post.
Yeah.
She's gonna kill you, Casey.
Yeah, but she can't outrun him yet.
You just wait. She'll have a gas-powered wheelchair. She ain't gonna be able to sit still.
So once they're 2 years old, you just kind of say, "No, it's not going to work out."
You just know what you want by 2.
I think that depends on the dog too.
Yeah,
you know,
but
if he's showing a little bit at 2,
that's 90% of it is just showing them game by the time they're 6 months old to 2.5 years old. It's showing them game. You have to show them animals, because if you don't show them animals, well, then you have nothing to base off what they're doing.
How many keep dogs because of pride? You know, like someone telling you that's a piece of shit dog, and you say, no, it'll work out.
Well, it's just like every dog's got a purpose. Like, I have this one dog. Actually, that dog that got snake bit, he's 2.5. He's one of my best dogs.
Chris resembles that remark, Ryan.
And his sister, she never turned out. She would trail a little bit, but she didn't tree. She wasn't really helping on the trail. And the tree just scared her to death. She didn't like all the excitement.
Just loud for her. And she
would bark when they were trailing, but once like dogs would jump on her barking and you get chaos. Nope, she was out. She didn't like that.
So do you don't keep those kind of dogs, or you keep her for trailing?
No, depending, like if she was an awesome trail job or awesome trail dog and not just a pack trail dog, yeah, I would have kept her. Like her, what do you want to call her? Aunt, niece, whatever I had. By the time she was 1.5 years, 2 years old, she was my top 3 trail dogs I had, top 2. But she didn't tree. unless that line was on a ledge, she wasn't barking at it. That thing could be 6 feet in a tree.
Well, that's
Look
kind of
up.
what we got to the other night.
I
If you
love
got
it.
other dogs at tree, why do you need her to?
Exactly.
If she's trailing, keep her.
I mean,
If they're contributing.
oh,
put it that way.
she was great on the cold trail, the jump, all that. Once that thing went up a tree, and then if it was on a ledge, she'd be in its face barking. But that line could have been 6 feet in the tree, and she wouldn't look up. Didn't
Just
care.
because it was just too overwhelming for her. The dogs around her sounds like, right?
Maybe for that, but I kept that dog. Finally, I think she inhaled the grass seed and killed and got her. Or I don't know what happened. We went hunting. It was the last day of line season, May 31st.
Is that
Was
the
it
one you
even-
took to the vet?
No, that was a different dog.
Oh.
I've had luck with dogs. But,
You don't know
That's a-
grass seeds, Jared.
huh?
You really don't know grass seeds.
I've lost 2 dogs every year for the last 6 years.
To grass seeds.
Grass seeds, ledges, cactus needles,
Old injuries.
just random stuff.
Mm-hmm. That last dog you took in, they X-ray her up and say,
Yeah.
God dang, this is something that happened a year ago.
A month ago. It happened a month ago.
Oh,
Got a female in September. She went off a ledge, went right back up, started trailing, and we went hunting. She was fine, a little stoved up, but nothing crazy. And it was like a month later, we got on a hard running female, and we just couldn't get her stopped. And that dog was wheezing real bad, and we never caught her, nothing. And she was wheezing real bad, and Sarah took her to the vet the next day, and she said, hey, she's got to go to a different vet. And I'm like, okay. And so the next day after that, I took her to a vet here in Arizona, and they did an x-ray and everything. She's like, yeah, you'll be able to pick her up tomorrow, she'll be fine. I'm like, okay. And they cut her open, and yeah, I got the phone call, and she's like, everything inside of her is dead and black. From literally, she had the bottom tip of her heart was still red, but most of her heart was black. A third of her lung on one side was still pink, and then everything below was trash.
and that was an infection.
No, just damage, bruising. Well, she didn't have an infection, but when I asked the vet what happened, why now is it giving her fits? She said it was a scar tissue on the lungs from running so hard it pulled the scar tissue off the edge of the lung and made a hole.
Mm-hmm.
But that's from her going off a bluff a month before. I had a 2-year-old dog get a cactus needle in its groin. His leg swelled up like a rattlesnake bite. And so I just doctored his leg. It was on a Friday, his leg swelled up. I just gave him a couple shot of Dex and hope for the best, thinking it was a rattlesnake bite. Took him to the emergency vet on Sunday, and he was dead, and they cut him open, and he had a cactus needle and punctured his intestine, and he went septic.
That dog still tried to hunt.
That's
Yep.
just like them damn locust thorns we got.
Mm.
They're hell on dogs.
Yep.
We've had them in pale sticks in them. And
Foxtails, especially first part of fall, and then the end of spring.
of course, our rattlesnakes will kill them if they get bit.
Yeah. Ours, I mean,
yours was pretty bad, a couple months ago. But
he got hit twice. He got hit here and then right here.
he back fine.
Yeah, I went.
It looked good. It looked horrible at first.
Well, now he's just got a cleft lip or whatever you want to call it, so you can see the canine, and it comes. So pretty much where the middle of your lip starts to your nose is gone, and then down to the corner of his mouth is all gone.
Yep.
But I roded him this morning, and shoot, he roded just fine. Didn't give me any issues. It wasn't tired. So I'll take it.
And I think Ryan said, "Can we talk about how to cull the houndsman?" That's a huge rabbit hole, but I think the preference of when to get rid of a dog is also what are people using the dogs for. Obviously, you use them. That's your life. That's what you're doing. You know.
Well, and like I'm selfish. I have dogs to see lions.
Yes.
If you're not going to show me a lion, well, I'm not going to keep you. I mean,
Yep.
very
Mine
rare.
just tell me that beef's better. So
They like them cattle.
You have to actually cull one because, like, my neighbor, he loves my hound dogs, and he's got a bunch of little girls. And I have this dog. She wouldn't hunt, wouldn't do nothing. That one that was scared at the tree and would kind of trail, kind of wouldn't. And I was like, "Hey, dude, do you want Gracie?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll pick her up tonight." And she's catching house cats for him by herself.
Yep. And it, you got guys who have some dogs that like to get out a few times a year. So they don't need a performance dog. They just like to get out.
well,
They
that's
use
me
it as
here lately.
Well, that's been me here in the last 3-4 months too. Then you got people who need those dogs because they're making money. That's their livelihood. That's what they're doing. So they're more apt to cull a dog a little bit sooner and quicker and go to the next dog.
Well, just I mean, like, if you have 4 puppies and one of them's a complete reject. I mean, just doesn't want to do nothing, runs off, doesn't do anything with the dogs, doesn't pay attention to the other dogs. And then you have a rock star that everything makes sense to.
That one's the one that's going to die first.
Are you going to out every time you go?
Yeah.
The rock star.
The only one that'll live out of that whole litter is the idiot.
It's a true story. But,
that's what we had 4 puppies. My male dog that runs the cows, he's the only one that's still living. And he was the idiot. Still is the idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, he trees coons, but he's trashy as all get out.
But like that's what I like. I only keep 2 pups a year because I am terrible at that part. I get a dog that's really clicking, like by a year and a half, trailing good, treeing good. That dog doesn't miss a day. That dog goes until he's pretty much ran into the ground. Where if I have 4, 5, 6 pups and you take 2 every day and you rotate them, it's just it's hard for me to give a dog a fair shot if I have 6 pups. That's why I only hunt 2 a year, or keep 2 or get 2 pups a year.
So what's the deal breaker on the other 4 pups?
Nothing if they're all doing something. But what I was getting at is if you have 4 pups, like me, I'm terrible at it. I'll hunt that rock star every day, and that knothead that actually really needs to go out lion hunting will stay back because I don't want to deal with this stuff when his brother's doing so good, or sister, or whatever.
And it's also hard to hunt 2 puppies at one time. You're going to have a lot of stupid stuff happen. They want to play. They're not paying attention to what's going on.
Yep.
But it's hard to leave good dogs at the house.
Dogs at the house. You got a young dog that you've had to hike in 3 times to go get her, or him, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like at the high that day, and you're like, man, it's 90 degrees today. I ain't taking that dog. Well, then you go back to work or whatever, do what you got to do. Well, that dog just missed out on the only day it could have hunted that week, maybe.
Yeah. So then, I mean, you got lack of desire, obviously, right? One of the deal breakers.
Yeah.
Aggression.
Yeah. You have 3 strikes on a dog fight.
Yeah.
I don't like that mess. I
don't
got
like-
2 that are buddies until you put them in a box, and they don't just try to kill each other until I get to Casey's.
I had 2 dogs that didn't like each other like that. Snoopy and Andy.
I just had to
Andy,
get. Oh,
so Andy, great pusher for Dirty. They hunted great together. I ended up giving Snoopy to a girl, and then Cody Lynn just got her back. Now Andy's gone, so now I can hunt him with my pack. But you do just get those 2 dogs that just will not get along.
Well, these
Will
2
not get
are
along.
buddies. I mean, they're like inseparable. They are they work great together.
Yeah.
But you put them in a box, and they want to be in the same side. They will load up on the same time every time, and it's a fight to get one of them in the other side.
well, this spring I called Kyle. I'm like, "Hey, do you need another dog?" And he's like, "I could take one. What do you got?" And I was like, I gotta give Rooster to someone. And he's like, "Why are you getting rid of Rooster?" And I'm like, "My wife's dog wants to eat him, and I can't get rid of that dog. So it's got to be him."
So that was a choice. You
Yeah.
took the better of the 2 that you thought would work better for you.
No. It was
But
my
you didn't
wife-
just go out to the wood pile and shoot them. You made some
it
calls.
was my wife's pointer.
Mhm. Oh.
Well, I don't know what it is about those GSPs. They seem to be a little bit more wired towards that.
And
All the ones I've ever been around.
that dog, that GSP was great to my other 3 males. Was great to him. But for some reason, he hated that Rooster dog. Hated him. Couldn't put him in the box together. Couldn't travel because obviously my wife's traveling all the time, so I got to take her dog with me. You know, she has them right now and stuff, and so it was just one of them deals. And I'm like, "Hey, dude, I don't want to sell this dog. I want to hunt with him, and I hunt with you all the time. Like, take him."
Yeah.
So he took him, and he loved him.
Happy wife, happy life.
You gotta keep the bank happy.
Jared just said, "Yeah, yep."
You gotta keep those payments.
Happy
on
sugar
time.
mama, happy life.
Absolutely.
You know, Ryan, he brought up by St. Margaret Chris that guys should breed with more intention and thought versus letting his dogs run loose and randomly breeding. I don't know if you're talking about like accidental breeding. I've probably had 3 accidental breedings that came out good in my life. And he said because he makes his living off them, but this often not the case, which is right. There's probably not everybody's a guide and making money off of them. Some of them are just out there hunting for friends and whatnot.
And then, I mean, I didn't guide full time living for a long time. You know, I've been doing this 12 years.
Well, you guide for a season, but you go back to work.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what you're talking about?
No, not just that, but I fun hunted for a long time. And still then, you got to
pay attention to your line. You got to pay attention to your dog still.
You still do, because if you have a dog slick train and you're walked 3 miles into an empty tree and it looks like a telephone pole, yeah, something happened and it wasn't good, you know. Stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Here's a story with Elizabeth. We had a rig, started a bear, dogs. We had a lot of dogs. She had a friend down. I had dogs. I usually had anywhere from 7 to 10. She always had her 8 to 10 dogs. And then a friend of hers, he come down and he had all his dogs. Well, had a rig, let some dogs go. It was a good rig. And my dogs are treed. I'm like, my dogs are treed. So I go to check the tree and they're all treed on this tree that has this huge mistletoe way up high. Looks like a big old bear sitting up there.
Mm-hmm.
So my dogs, I'm like, why would you guys tree on that? But so I pull them off. We go back down, and they go trailing again. We get back over there, and Elizabeth, 100, not even, I bet you that thing was only 50 yards from the truck. She had this one little Shadazy dog that she hated every once in a while. And that dog was over there barking, and she walks over and she was barking at. And that dog, we had 30 damn dogs there. One dog was treed. One dog. And it was on a bear right next to the truck. But everybody else got crazy because it was probably a hot scent. Mine ran backwards up the hill, seen a little black spot in the tree, and looked up. One dog looked up probably and said, "There's the bear," and that bear probably ran right in that area. And then that's just what happens.
Last winter I was hunting with Casey up here, and dogs went off and they treed. Me and Casey get there, and it's a slick. There's nothing in it. Two different trees, and you're like, this isn't making sense. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then we kick them off. They go trailing again, and they go and they tree. And I get there and I yell, "It's an effing monkey." Well, Casey doesn't hear me. And we're riding back to the ranch house after beating dogs up for treeing a monkey. Well, I beat my dogs up for treeing a monkey. Casey just pulled his dogs off, and he's like, "Hey, I think your June dog with that one eye, I think that her losing that eye is screwing her up." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, that was two slick trees." And I'm like, "No, we caught monkeys is what it is." He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "We caught, the first one was a slick. I'm pretty sure that monkey was in there, and it jumped down, and because they only went like 300 yards and treated again." And I was like, "Then that last one, he was all the way up in the Ponderosa." And he's all, "You didn't tell me? I just let him get away with it." I was like, "I thought I told you." I started beating him. He's like, "I thought you were just mad." I was like, "I was."
Do those monkeys jump trees like a squirrel?
Yeah.
No,
they do.
That's like
Justin called me one day. He was hunting down on the border with me, and we kind of just went our own different ways. And he called me, and he's like, "Hey, I've had two slicks in a row, and it's like they're weird trees." And I was like, "I guarantee you it's a monkey." And I was like, "Are they hitting the ground and trailing again?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a monkey." Jumping from one tree to the next and bailing down and leaving.
Yeah. Dirty, when he was younger, there's a canyon in Globe area down there that I always go up this canyon because I used to have cameras down there when it was legal. But the bears they had one tree they just rub on. They had 20 different bears just hit that tree and rub on it, rub tree, But we'd go up there and same thing. You get up there, started. I get over there and there's like a 5-foot dead tree that like they're all treeing on. And I'm like, what the hell? And Dirty won't leave the tree. And I'm like, but ended up cutting it has like kind of hollow on him, cutting a little hole inside with a hatchet. And there was a damn ringtail cat all the way down in that tree, but you couldn't see it from the top. So I cut a little tiny hole in there where you could just see his eyeball down in there in his tail. So
it's like the last time Undercover and I went out, his plot dog loves an armadillo, and the grass is about waist deep, so you really can't see her running armadillo. You just hear her yipping, and she springs up like a deer. She just jumps straight up in the air. I'm hollering, and he can't hear me over the buggy. I'm like, "Shock that damn dog, man." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Shock her, armadillo." Frying her. I said, "Just hold it down till she just comes back and runs into the ranger." We got to break that thing.
Surprised you're not.
Little red pup of his doing?
Sitting in a pen, trying not to drown right now. I hadn't been out since the last big rain, about 3 weeks ago. The last time I've been out, It won't stop raining.
Casey's been nice to me. I get to road my dogs in the morning.
Keep them in shape.
I'm just glad y'all are getting rain. I told my buddy, he went out there and it rained the whole time. They were at the Grand Canyon, everywhere they went. I'm like, look, take this road, go down, drive about 50 miles south on this gravel road. Just drive down it real slow. Let that rain catch up with you. I said, my buddy needs some rain down there. And he said, well, we didn't go down that road. I said, you're fired. Don't ever go back.
Casey did call it. He kept saying for the rendezvous, oh, we'll have the rain. Don't worry about it. We'll have the rain. Kept saying, we'll have the rain.
He kept saying July 10th it's going to start raining, and he's pretty much spot on with it.
Yep.
It's about time, because that country's been burned up for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
I just need a couple days of dry weather while I'm there.
There's a reason.
At that rope, and we were having to haul water, some tanks. And I don't mind driving the water truck, but Casey was driving it up these switchback type deals, and it's full of water. And he's like, just keep your hand on the shifter, because it'll slip out of first every now and then. You'll roll backwards. I really don't like water truck up, Casey. He's fun. And so when it started raining, I'm like, thank God I don't have to drive that water truck up there. Never had to do it once so far. I'm happy.
Well, that water truck's the reason why mine ran cows, because there was a little bear back here on one of those water holes last year. Robert Chase started it, and then he went over the mountain and come back. And it just looped around behind us. That dang cur dog opened up in the box. What did he do that for?
Yeah.
I dumped the box, and the race was on. I go 900 yards and show tree, and I'm like, we got him. Get there, and he's gonna run them up in a freaking herd of cows. Tried to kill us.
It happens.
And then that's all they wanted to run after that was cows.
Hey, well, you should have been like, Casey, I got cow dogs. But catch the wild ones.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, they run them again this year. They're just gonna have bare spots right across here.
Do what the old cowboys do: run them down and lasso them and choke them out.
Mm-hmm.
You swing a rope around mine, they won't get within 200 yards of you.
Really?
Especially this little black pup. My granddaughter's been roping her. And first time I bought her a little yellow rope, and she got out there and she healed that dog first try. And this is a 4-year-old now. She don't know nothing about no rope. She caught that dog. I thought that dog was going to eat her leg off. Trying to get that rope off of her. But you can't throw a rope around mine.
You can't be with. So Bone Pile says, when's the last time you took your pack of hunting, Chris? And I don't mean puppies. You don't talk about recent wins or loses. My dogs are far from fat. I can tell you that. For two, nobody knew who I was because Wayne came in and said he's a free caster now. He went from a free caster podcaster, but man, the only people that know kind of what I do are people that come up and hunt with me, and that don't happen a whole lot.
I went from houndsman to Olympic swimmer.
Yeah. It's raining now, which is good, but I just don't.
Or mud wrestling. I hadn't figured out what I'm gonna do yet.
Mm-hmm. And right now, we're not allowed to hunt bears or lions.
No.
So I wouldn't talk about it right now, anyways. But
I'm gonna drop ship my dogs out there for Jared to road every morning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm on a podcast saying that, but I don't tell anyone what I do. Like when it comes to eyes, I don't post pictures in the day or anything.
I think we all know what's going on between ourselves because, like, we all talk.
Yeah.
We don't get on Instagram and leave comments. Like, all of our stuff's phone calls with Dustin, you, Jared, like, you know, Brett Vaughn. There's certain people you can tell stuff to that you shouldn't have to worry about.
Dustin, he had to make that ad for me, and I still didn't. He's like, post this on Southridge, and I'm like, do I have to? He's like,
I
God damn it, Jared! You want to get some business? Post it, and then I'll just do it for you.
yeah,
He told me that.
that's how the argument went.
I started to mess with you on that, and I said, no, I'll just text him and what I want to say.
No, I called. I did. I said, it looks like Jared's starting to trying to get his business going. He goes, no. I had to make him do that. I'm like, I should have known.
As soon as I saw it, I texted Jared and I said, how much do you give for monkey hunts? He said, free for you.
You, I remember. Well, it was them Texans me and Chris took out. I hiked them into we were cold trailing this female, and I hiked them. And the dogs are going, and I hiked them Texans into a tree, and they bumped into a monkey and just boom, treed. And I'm all excited. We started a female lion that day, and walk in, and it's a monkey. Chris had to come get us because we were like 2.5 miles from the truck.
That was my job, I think, is just to wait for Jared to call and tell me where he was, or try to tell me where he was.
Yeah.
Well, the windmill. I'm like, shit, I'm at the windmill. And I call him like, where are you at? You know, and then
to the windmill by the time I got you on the radio.
And then those guys, they had a side-by-side and it broke down.
Yep.
So we had to tow that sucker miles. Yeah.
We're way off in nowhere.
Mm-hmm. So you were way out there.
Yeah, because you found that lion, like, it was a 7-day hunt. I think you found that lion on the 4th day, and I went in there the next day.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure out. And then the 6th day, we trailed a little bit, and it didn't go very good. And I couldn't figure. I was like, that lion's right here somewhere. I just can't find it. So we were doing big circles in there, and finally we went on a buggy and started cutting roads and making bigger circles and bigger circles trying to find that lion. And all of a sudden, the buggy just butt. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yep. That was a weird hunt. You catching that lion,
dude? That lion.
Because I was only 400 yards from where you found it.
Yeah, she just didn't move.
Mine hit the wash, and it's like, damn. And I think it was getting later, and I'm like, man, maybe I'm going backwards or something. I don't know. I had a javelina wreck too, so I wasn't happy with my dogs, and then they had to like step up a little bit. So yeah. I do have stories there. Not that it's gonna lose sleep over bone pile, not thinking I'm doing anything, but
yeah. And then the last day of the hunt, they're like, "What are we doing?" I'm like, "I'm walking in there, and I'm just gonna walk circles, as many circles as I can," because we had tracks going every direction. I just couldn't get her lined out any direction. And then we walked up that canyon 400 yards farther than I did the day before, and we had her caught in 100 yards. She was laying on a javelina kill.
Yeah, had an arrow in it.
Had an arrow in it. Some bow hunter crippled an javelina.
Mm-hmm. I've heard those old timers say they this is a really long time ago, beyond statute of limitations. But
Ollie's dead.
They'd shoot those javelina and cut them in half and hang them in trees.
Yep.
And that's how they'd catch those lions.
Put leg holds underneath of it.
Mm-hmm.
Let that lion go and train pups.
And that was right when we went down there. I think Jason Miller posted that jaguar maybe a couple weeks before that.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to catch that jaguar so bad, just to get a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be the cool guy.
I'd be the unlucky bastard that caught it and it'd kill everything I had.
We were one mountain range over from it.
Yeah, it was right across the valley, across that valley.
That's right there where we camp.
Yeah,
Washington camp.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That may have been that big ass track I found in the road when I stopped trying to figure out could I get in that little spot.
I don't know. Jeremy's an Indian tracker, though. I mean,
Smells the track before he sees it.
three blades of grass are laid over, and he's like, here.
Jeremy would stop on a track, though. Jeremy stop and look down, and there'd be an old line track or new line, just line track.
Mm-hmm.
Casey, he said, you drive too dang slow.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? I'm doing 30. He's like, yeah, you can go 50 and we can still see a line track.
Yep.
You can, I can't.
Drive slow. Like Casey looks over the hood. I try to, but I keep looking off my shoulder too. And
I hang out the door. I just hang out the door. Like I hang out my door. And my old Tundra, my seat would lift all the way up.
mm-hmm.
So I could just hang, and I had a light right there that would kind of.
I hang out the side of that buggy.
Yeah. Casey looks over the hood and he zips down those roads. He's going 15, 20 in that buggy, zipping down the road looking for that shine on top.
Yeah. So culling is kind of like, to me, stories. You shouldn't tell a lot of stories. You tell a lot of stories on the internet. I think you call it those guys watch this. Those guys are in your Facebook groups trying to catch people. They're snitches in your Facebook groups trying to catch people. And if you're catching a lot of stuff, you bring a lot of attention to yourself. I know that for fact because I've gotten phone calls asking about a person.
I posted a video the other day, just a little short, of me training them, putting them dogs on that tie out, and I don't have any Karens. I had to delete. I'm like, I'm glad you're smarter than.
Oh man, the amount of people, like, I was watching. What was it? Oh, this guy had this colt hobbled.
Oh, that's a big topic too. They bitch about that constantly.
Oh goodness, the internet came unglued on the guy.
I've got a friend of mine that
Oh
he just does trail rides,
yeah,
and he'll show him, working colts and stuff, and people will comment, and he'll just blast them, and he gets paid on Facebook for blasting people.
And like
It's all about the views, man. It's all about the views. It's nothing to do with likes or how many people follow you. It's all about the views.
Yeah. And there wasn't even wrong with the video. The colt was fine. His front legs were hobbled, then he was side hobbled. So he had 3 legs tied, out of the 4. Yep. He's a colt. He's learning.
So when I have my big long rope out and with my 1 foot hobble so she can eat in my yard, is that horrible too?
Right.
It don't matter what you do on the internet.
Somebody's going to say you're wrong.
Oh, it's look at Clay Newcomb. The guy's not a farrier. He's not a horseshoer. He's not an old school cowboy that can do it blindfolded. He was just trimming up his mule.
Well, I disagree with some of the stuff he says. Like
he got hammered. He got hammered on that, on how it don't matter. You should see my hack jobs. I can shoe and trim. Are they pretty? No. Have I had anything go lame? No, that I know of. They didn't limp. Do I like doing it? No. Hard on you, man. Anybody that shoed. But it's like with culling. How many people really talk about culling? Because the word cull, what does it mean? It means to go shoot your dog in the head and leave him lay out in the middle of nowhere. And have
or just to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
You can find them dogs a good home.
There's a ton of people that will take a dog. Tons of people will take a dog.
Especially if that dog just doesn't want to hunt, but he knows his name and he wants to be a buddy.
Yeah. And he'll go out and chase rabbits for the next person that just is out there on a little walk.
Mm-hmm.
I give my cousin hound dogs. He don't hunt them, but he goes out with them, and those dogs trail and chase stuff. I don't know if they'd be good dogs. They're out of my line. I catch bears and lions with them. He's in California, so he has to be careful what he's just like right now. And getting your dogs out, I see what Bone Pile's trying to say. They get stale, and they do, but
they get bad stale. Now they go. That's where you trash races.
That's that's why I
Drop
always
comes
call
from.
August Western. Like the first week of August, like you get them back out, you get them back. It's just like anybody who's on vacation and he works out every day. When you get back, man, you're stale too. Get
Oh,
back
yeah.
to the gym, you know.
Well, Dustin were talking about that the other day. He asked me, he's like, "What's your game plan for August, September?" And I'm like, "I am camping on all the dogs. We're gonna hunt every day we can." They haven't been out.
Who is that for though? Not just the dogs. It's
No,
for
that's
you
for me.
too.
I'm going nuts.
How stale are you?
I'm bad
know?
stale.
Oh man. I today started off, I had a plan and I just didn't get done what I needed to get done. I was out in the woods this morning. That's all I'm gonna say. I was checking for water. That's what I was doing. Looking to see where the water went. And there's no goddamn water out here. I mean, I have ponds that stay full all year long.
Yeah, Jared, is there any water in those tanks?
Is now.
I hope we get some water in these tanks up here.
It was running down the. It was running through the driveway.
Were you looking for water?
Yeah, Casey has me go check waters. That way I don't have
Good
to drive.
excuse.
So you can drive that water truck that pops out of gear.
Yeah. Dude,
You'll start.
You
fire
will
with that
never
water truck.
find a rancher with a new water truck.
His is fairly new.
it's not bad.
So it's only 20 years old?
That's probably what, 15? 10,
That's-
15 years
yeah.
old? It's,
Yeah.
it's in decent shape.
It is.
He,
It's good. You
he
just
had
got
me under it trying to hook up the water hose to it.
Listen, if you visit Casey, you're going to work.
And he's like, don't
He's
get
going to
under
put you to work.
it. Get where you can get away from it. 'Cause it will roll backwards.
I was
Like,
a
that's
hard
safe.
time today. He just showed up. He's been gone a week, and he gets out of the truck, and we just go to it. And we're unloading his truck and some stuff, and then we just dive straight into the bathroom, ripping the bathroom apart. and I was like, "Dude, you're awesome." He's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, 99.9% of people, myself included, would get after being gone for a week and not being home, would have unloaded the truck and sat down.
Vegged out.
Yeah.
My wife's the same way. She does not know when to stop.
And no, we got done unloading groceries, and I'm microwaving 2 hot dogs to eat real quick, and he's like, "Go grab the Sawzall and the hammers and some pry bars." I'm like, "What are we doing?" He's like, "We're ripping the bathroom apart." Okay.
That guy has too much energy for me.
Well, I think it's more or less he knows he's got a short time to get it done.
Yep.
And he's got a driving force behind it. So.
Yep.
Man, he gave me the day off. Sarah was in town, and he gave me the day off, and I was like, "What time we starting tomorrow?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it. Take tomorrow off." Sweet. Sleeping in. Been waking up at 4:00 every day, 20 some days straight. I'm sleeping in tomorrow. I wake up at like 5:20 in the morning, and he's on.
In case you better watch out, he's going to have grandpups.
Right?
Yep. So that was a big rabbit hole. I don't even know how that got started. We breeding too many average dogs?
Yes.
So we're just accepting we're not culling enough, maybe.
No, we're just breeding too soon.
Yeah, you're breeding too early. You don't know what the dog's true potential is. You think in your own mind it's a rock star, and that you're going to get a bunch of rock stars out of these that are just average. But
Yeah.
I think that's to each his own. My rock star may be a Cull in your eyes.
But
so because his granddaddy was a rock star and his daddy before that, so you have this pup and he's starting to work out good and he's under 2 or 2 years old and you start breeding him.
some lines produce, some males produce. Some top hand males are great producers. Other ones, they just throw average dogs. So you quit breeding that dog.
Around here, people are breeding for looks and not nose or feet or connect to bloodlines better. I think what happens is people get into hounds. Then they get a bunch of hounds. And they don't realize that, like, I'm always on my kid about checking those females every day. My wife, I have a notebook. Well, I had a book I actually created, had printed, and she writes down the heat cycle. So, and then she writes it on her calendar. And then we'll say, hey, keep an eye on Stinker or Cruella because they were in 6 months ago. Yep. I have a cool little book. I should make a bunch up and sell them at there. It has each dog. It just has like each page of the dog. Half of it's that, and then the back, I don't remember how many pages. 20 is just like other information.
You can print them off like dog health records or whatever.
Yeah, it's what it is. When they're in
there.
heat, when they're, and I even was writing down like when we caught stuff and where we caught it. I haven't been so good at it in the last few years because you get out there and you get home and then months go by and you're like, shit, man. You try to go through your phone, find out when you caught it. And I used to write down how far we ran or just little stuff like that. But so she's good at keeping it. But I think the younger guys, I saw you, and then they start getting rid of dogs. I see people that have litters and get rid of dogs, and they're selling them for $500 a piece. And I'm just like, well, and sometimes you know those people, and you're like, well, when did you catch anything? And maybe they don't post it. But some of those people would brag about it if they caught something.
Mark Savage, you are smarter than the average houndsman.
I created an Excel sheet to record health and feeding notes. Well, that's exactly what I did. And then I sent it to one of my printer girls I know, and she made me a book. So I created on Excel, sent it over and said, I want a book that's the same page. I want it bound, and I want it front and back printed. So it's pretty cool. Maybe I'll make everybody one and bring it.
But a lot of guys just, they see that you dog make a tree at a year old, and it's that dog's second tree, and they think that dog trailed and barked at the tree at a year old. It's going to be a rock star.
I'll get some.
All they'll do, they'll turn into a pack trail dog, and that's all they'll ever become. I had a couple of dogs like that, and I sold them, and yeah.
See, that's like mine. We were talking about this last week.
They're just good, okay dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all have pack dogs. Where I come from, most everybody has no more than 2 dogs, and they're able to single them out, hunt them, build their confidence up, and you figure out what that dog's actually going to do.
Well, this is where.
But with Lion and Barry, you need more than 1 dog.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
like
to progress the track.
Me and Casey went out this winter, and I hunted some dogs a couple days in a row, and he's like, "What about them other ones?" And I'm like, and I was like, and I pointed at this dog, and I was like, she relies on my top 3 dogs to find it first, and then she'll go. I was like, hopefully, if I bring her and my pups, she'll get competitive with your dogs, but herself too. It's all
good.
Oh, it's just that dog. She would wait for the other top 3 dogs to find it, and then she'd go to trailing it, and she was great trailing. I mean, she picked up losses, everything. But to be a strike dog, she just would kind of hang out until someone found it first, and then she'd go to work. But when she was trailing and going to work after the strike dog found it, she was phenomenal. And so I was hunting just her with Casey's dogs, and I was like, maybe she'll get competitive with Casey's dogs because they're new and she's not used to them. That just confident. It's just a confidence builder at that point. Then,
Yeah.
How old is she?
4 now.
She may not be a competitive dog.
She's not really.
I've got 2 gyps. You can hunt them by themselves, and they look awesome. Put them together, and they look like garbage because they're competing. One's going to tree before the other one every time, or steal the tree from the other one.
Yeah.
And then I think the older dog will actually set the younger one up on a tree, and then she keeps on trailing.
So my buddy, he has blood trailing dogs in Texas. And he's got this young dog, and it kind of wasn't turning on. And so he called a buddy up that's got some phenomenal blood trailing running walker dogs. And he dumped his best female out, and he dumped that pup out with that best female. And that female kept going out and chasing live game, what they call live game. And then she circle around, chase another deer out. And my buddy's like, talks to the guy with the good dog, and he's like, what is your female doing? He's like, she's trying to lose your pup, just watch. And the 3rd or 4th time she went off trailing a live deer, that pup finally couldn't handle it anymore, and he went off trailing that live deer. She came back, once that pup was out of her way, she came back, hit the blood trailing, and caught that deer by herself. She just didn't want that pup.
Ever wonder what Ben Lilly would think about dogs and hunters today? We talked
He'd
about
shoot both.
Well, we talked about that a couple weeks ago or last. I don't remember who was Ben Lilly really? You know, he's talking about legends and what really made him a legend and how true it was that they were a legend. You know, how trashy was he that he just ran around and caught everything? You know, he caught everything. How many deer did he kill? He said, just to feed him and his dogs. Was he just catching those deer by himself, or was dogs chasing deer and he'd whack a deer? And when you're just out there running and you're making money at being a what was he?
Biological survey.
Basically a biologist. So if he caught a raccoon or a muskrat or no matter what, he'd document it, and it made him look good.
Well, he was from Louisiana, so he ate everything he caught.
Yep.
You know, so
Chris.
I heard old timers talking this was not the other day, it's probably a year or 2 ago. And I heard an old timer say, Ben Lilly couldn't even make half these dogs hunt.
Why is that? Elaborate.
Just terrible breeding.
They're different from what he was.
But didn't he used to go to the pound and pick up dogs and throw it in with his pack?
Yeah. But,
you know what I mean? So, so if let's say he went to the pound and took 5 dogs, whatever they had, threw them in, how long would he wait before he shot that dog?
No, he never said anything about that, but
no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking though. You know, that's where the truth lies.
Yeah. And you still you're going to have some bad crosses. People, I don't know. I don't like talking about culling. But people just breed too soon. I think that's the big part of it. They see, usually it's guys that they're just getting into dogs and they want to build their, because you got the meek and bred dogs. Everyone's got their last name tied to it. Jeff Allen,
Derringer.
And they want to build their own name up. So they get a couple pups from a guy or they start their own or however they get it, whatever. And then that dog is doing really good at 1.5 years old, 2 years old. So next thing you know, come spring, whatever, they lock them up. And it doesn't work like that.
Listen, then Ryan said Michigan Swamp Rooster started 3,172 documented pups, but
that's for money.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Competition dog.
So what is documented pups? Is that pups that
They're-
won money or just
No,
pups?
that's how many pups he had. How many registered dogs that were out of him?
So how many of those out of the 3,172 dogs?
Well, it just
How many were great? How many were cold? How many were?
There was a lot more cold than were great. I guarantee you.
You know, and he went on to the next one too. You know, and I don't know none of these. I honestly don't care about.
They're English bloodlines from
Yeah.
back in the early '90s.
I'm gonna have to go. I have to go down and have lunch with Ryan so we can get in arguments about papers and shit dogs. But how? Well, I mean, you think he was breeding them because they produce shit? I mean, were they breeding them because he had a name?
No, even
Because-
I mean they were producers. I mean, both of those dogs produced a lot of good
And the difference
dogs.
between these guys and maybe over here is there's dogs over here that did the same thing. And this is where Derek got himself in trouble and we all got in a fight about is keeping track. I don't know how many dogs I've had, hundreds. I don't know about thousands, but and I've given dogs away I've never heard of again. I have one dog out there that's doing fucking great. And he's helping the state. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These guys keep track of their stuff because
well, guys do too out here. It's
Derek
just-
is.
instead of it, because all that stuff's UKC.
You can block Ryan now. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm gonna start a fight here. Derek's right about what though? Keeping
Well,
records?
No, we're not going to get in that argument. I'm going to ignore it. But the difference, everyone talking about guys out west, you know, Derek was talking guys out west don't know what they're talking about. No, they do, but they only give their dogs to certain people. That's it. They have books of what dog came from where. They have notebooks. It's not knowledge.
But it's not public record.
Yeah, it's not public. There's notebooks of
Well,
dog.
and they're not marketed like a Eastern Coonhound either.
You know, and guys get mad, you know, and it's just like, well, I'm sorry, the world's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't paid for, you know, knock on wood, I haven't paid for a pup since 2018.
I wish I could say that.
I get them from the same guy all the time, and he knows that they're going to a house that actually hunts.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing. Like, I could have sold, instead of giving Kyle those two dogs, I could have sold them and walked out with some cash in my pocket, right? But instead, I gave Kyle those dogs because I know they're going to be hunted. I know they're going to be treated right, and I know they're going to be hunted.
Yeah.
That's why. And a lot of guys out west do that.
Well, and we were texting the other day, me and Ryan, and he said the same thing about genetics. But I mean, breeding to your neighbor's Chihuahua, if the guy that's just dealing with somebody who's a dirtbag.
Well, that, you know, back in the day, what Ryan's talking about is, you know, they would say, hey, this litter's off of these two dogs, and they wouldn't be. They would just take their registrations and run them together. And now that's why they're making them DNA them and all that,
Yeah.
so that they keep them honest. Whereas, like, if Casey, this pup out here I got from Casey, all right, I know where he got them from, what they're, how they're bred. He said if they don't work out, they're inbred. If they work out, they're line bred. They got some cur in them, whatever. I know what Casey's told me about that dog. I believe what Casey's going to tell me. I don't feel like Casey's going to lie to me.
But Casey's right. Most guys don't know the difference between an average dog
And a great dog. Yeah.
Because you know what? Because they're happy with their average dogs, right? They go out, they catch every once in a while. and that's what they're good with.
And Ryan, you're wrong on that. You can.
Well, so and this is, I think Ryan loves the paper stuff.
Well,
I'm not
PKC,
going to
you can
hold it against
single
him. But
PKC, you can single register a dog. You can take a mutt from the pound,
yeah,
not know anything about it, and register that dog.
so but I think I know, I get what Ryan's saying. Is the thing is I don't trust the papers. You know how many, when I was in the labs bird dogging, I would show up to people's place and they had black labs with white chest, and I said, these aren't full blooded. Oh no, they are. They're papered. I said, I don't care what the paper said. Like, they're not full blooded labs. I had a buddy send me a picture, said I got a lab, and it was a black and tan lab. I'm like, what is that? That's not a lab, man. No, it's registered. So I don't. You get your dogs from one guy, like, you know who you get your pups from, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you trust that guy. That guy ain't gonna breed a Chihuahua
No.
and give. I'm not saying he's gonna give you a rock star every time, but you know, and this is where Ryan and me and Ryan agree, is that like, he knows, like, it's his papers, he knows what he has. You know what you have with this guy,
Yeah.
but you trust that guy. What do you put?
Jared, how many good dogs have you gotten from that guy?
Oh, not yet. Ryan.
Since I got good dogs, or
I want to. How many good dogs and how many bad dogs? That's the two questions.
kind of about 70-30. I'm talking,
And that's going to be probably average, no matter where you get them from.
yeah, about 70-30. And the ones that turn out really turn out.
So you're saying the 30% might be just average?
Average or below, even.
Yeah.
You know, but I always get 2 pups. I always try to get 2 pups,
Mm-hmm.
because pups get competitive with each other, and it drags the less driven dog more with just going with its brother or sister.
It's a pure trait.
But out of those 30% average or below average dogs, about when can you tell it's time that one's got to go?
About 2, you're about 100% sure.
So if they're not like 80% of what you want by 2 years old, because there's always room for improvement, correct?
Oh
Between
yeah.
2 and 4. But if you have kind of a list of, they need to be doing this by 2 years old. If not, they need to go to a young houndsman that's catching coons.
Yeah.
And someone said, this probably start fights too, but they have nothing on dry ground lying dogs. But it's a different hunt. I mean, we got Jeremy from back east that coon hunts. You know the competition stuff, right? And they do want fast. And the big complaint,
They bred the nose, the feet, they bred
right there,
everything out of the dogs.
that's the big complaint.
These dogs,
about that.
when I came up, now I've had hounds since I was before I could walk. Those dogs, in my own opinion, were better dogs because they had a better nose, better
My
feet
phone's dying.
than the ones we have now.
Yeah.
These are bred for a hot track and to be independent and lonely. Whereas those dogs would pack up. And when mine started packing, I was like, hold on, I reinvented the wheel because it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
The way these dogs are bred, they're not supposed to pack up. And I got one, he'll come in and check on everybody else, but if he didn't open up first, he will not be at that tree. He'll come in and check it and keep on going, go find his own stuff.
And how do you think, here's a question for you. How do you how would it be if we had competition lion hunts?
You'd ruin the dogs.
They do the same thing.
Yep. Because
so you think they would breed
I'm
them
trying to
as
outdo
well to catch them more?
Yep. I'm
Well,
gonna be trying to outdo you and trying to
there's
make money. That's it.
there are some drag ground lion hunters that make hot nosed dogs.
This right
because
here is
they
what it's
don't want
all
to
about.
trail.
They don't want to trail; they want to catch. But those guys that have those hot nosed dogs are true lion hunters. They know the layup spots. They know the corridors, like the
They
back.
know the environment what they're hunting.
Yeah, and they know where to put the dogs.
That
That's
right there is one of my good hunting buddies. 2 of my dogs are off his stock. Now that's a blue dog. It's supposed to be half walker. It's supposed to be out of the same stock my dogs are, but
Yeah.
it's not. You know, that dog's won almost $200,000 and a truck. He quit hunting.
The dog just quit hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Burn out.
He'll pleasure hunt, but if you take him to a competition, he won't hunt. But are they better? You know, for catching in my environment, yes. You can catch way more coons than you can lions or bears any day of the week. You know, that's no argument. And I agree with what Wayne said. There's no, it's like, you know, comparing labs to dry ground lion hounds or western bear hounds or eastern bear hounds even.
Yeah.
You know, it's apples to oranges. You can't compare the two. You know, I mean, Casey's, I've turned my dogs loose around Casey's dogs. And, you know, I know Casey, he don't care for my dogs, you know, without saying it. You know, I got one that would even follow his dogs. The rest of the time, mine were trying to start cow tracks.
I don't know what is Lightfoot. Is that a dog that someone? So there's no dry ground lion hunters using Lightfoot. One of the best dogs in the entire state didn't come from a competition coonhound bloodline. I'm sure lots of these dogs came from.
I got a buddy of mine.
well,
that lives,
no, back in the day, you know, Warner Glen, Finley River Walkers.
Mhm.
That's a registered coon blood.
Well, see, that's
That
like
came from back east.
I got a buddy of mine that had some jam up red bones, and he couldn't keep puppies for folks out west picking them up. He said they were excellent. But now, your English dogs, your blue ticks, your red bones, and your plots, your eastern bloodlines is what I'm talking about. They do make good western dry ground mountain lion dogs. They do make good bear dogs because they're not bred out. And but
there's I don't know if the line's still around or not. Someone have to be, but Lester Nance Walkers. Those are registered walker dogs, and those are big game walker hounds.
Yep.
Bunch of guys still use them.
Well, aren't Dale Cameron's blue ticks registered?
Mm-hmm.
So, but back in the day, they had
Not a
no.
blue tick guy though.
But you're saying what you're saying though is they bred the nose out now. So could you take a East dog now and bring it over here and it do any better than 30, 40 years ago?
I don't.
You know, it was a different breed of dog back 40, 50 years ago or whatever, right?
Yeah.
When Warner Glenn brought them over, because those dogs had noses. And Jeremy, you're saying that now, and I've heard this 1,000 times, they're breeding the nose out. They want hot nose. So any of those dogs that have come over, I mean, are they going to, I'm not saying they won't do dry ground, because if you have a hot nose, you're going to, but like you said, you have to know where those lines are coming through.
Take dry ground out of it. Can that dog catch one in the snow?
Probably.
See?
I mean, my dogs could probably catch one in the snow. That little mutt's probably got a better nose than any of the hounds I got.
But, you know, like my dogs, you know, they never saw snow until this year in their life when I went hunting with Dustin. and his dogs have ran snow a lot because they came from Utah and they've been used to hunting in the snow, and those dogs hammered my dogs in the snow, hammered them.
Well, same thing right here. How many lines did he catch? Right. I think Sonny said you can't make a dog, but you can.
Well, me,
If you catch 5 lines a year or 55 lines a year, you're gonna definitely tell if that dog's meant for line hunting. Correct? More
yeah.
on a 50 line catch than a 5 line catch.
Oh, absolutely. But me and Casey were talking the other day. You know, good dogs are born. Good dogs are born. Great dogs are made. And it takes genetics to make a good dog. It takes a handler to make a great dog.
And it
You could
takes
have-
opportunities.
Yes, you could have the best bloodlines in the world, but if you only go out 20 days a year, you don't know what you have. You know, you have to hunt, to have a truly great dog. You know, there's a reason everyone compares, back to Ben Lilly. He hunted 360 days a year.
Yeah.
He lived it. That's why he had great dogs.
Only took
All
Sundays
they
off.
knew was to hunt. They didn't sit on a chain. They didn't sit in the living room. Nothing. All they knew was, I'm going to eat tonight. Tomorrow he's going to take me out, and I'm going to go catch food again.
Mm-hmm.
That is all they knew. And that's what makes a great dog.
I'm going to answer a question real quick. David Nichols, yeah, that blueberry wine dog quit on him at the Jarvis Humphreys hunt.
Just stopped in the middle of the hunt.
He hunted the first round. The second round, he just quit.
And Ryan, I think there's lots of people that breed those old lines, but I think the popular thing is the competition. So when you say back east dogs, I think people,
But
I
those
think
those '90s bloodline dogs are what I grew up on, and they were totally different than what we have now. And there are very, very few in the East that are breeding for genetics. Most of them are breeding for a stud fee. They don't give a damn what it is, there's a few that are selective,
Mm-hmm.
but not as many as there are out west.
And if they are line breeders back east, we don't hear about them here. And if there's guys here that have them,
The only one I know of is the Schooner River bloodline in Mississippi. That line is pretty much line bred, and Wimp Aaron started that line in the 50s or 60s. He just recently died. There's 2 guys that took it over that he trained, and Mark Summerall is one of them. But one of the dogs I own is out of that line, and I'm not bragging on that line because of that, because she's got some issues that I don't care for. But that's the only line of dogs I know that is, just for genetics. Now, some can argue, oh, well, the wipeout dogs. No, they're not. They just breed to whatever. They don't give a damn.
Ryan, I have no clue what Lightfoot is.
I've never heard of Lightfoot.
So I mean, but that's us who don't. I don't honestly care. I just got my line from my guy back in 2000s, and that's what I've been using. So, and it's done me good.
Well, everyone hunts different.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to find something that you want to hunt with.
Mm-hmm.
Like that lion hunter we were talking about that has breeding hot-nosed dogs because he just wants his dogs to bark and then catch it. But he knows where to put those lines and stuff. Some guys don't want those dogs.
You can do this.
They're too hot-nosed.
You can just take a damn cur dog Catahoula, Blackmouth,
Mhm.
whatever, and carry that dog with you. Put your old cold nosed dogs down and put him with them, and you'll know when that track heats up
Oh yeah, absolutely you do.
because he'll
You
catch it.
know, and
Now he's gonna get killed before the rest of them ever get to him.
but like we always talk. Like I was talking to a guy the other night, and it takes a pack to catch a lion or a bear. It does. It doesn't take one dog and the other just tag along. It takes a pack. Some dogs, some dogs have strong points. Like my Swede dog, he died 2 years ago, but he's the best bluff dog I ever had. He'd jump an 8 foot gap on a ledge and hold that line. Well, everyone else was running around trying to figure out how to get to where he went. You know,
Yep.
everyone has their little niche that they're good at, whether it be locating, cold trailing. I don't really care about treeing because my trees are short. They're not ponderosas really. But a bluff dog in the rocks is worth his weight in gold on a jump.
Your dogs have a hard time in locating, right? Like when you get into the big
I
pine.
thought I thought they did, and then me and Dustin caught them that one lion, and that thing was like 60, 70 feet up in the tree, and my dogs blew the top out of it. I didn't think they'd even look up.
I know you was
I
worried
thought
about it.
I was like, man, I'm gonna look stupid. And that first lion me and Dustin caught, it was up there. And even my puppies were treeing it. So I was pretty impressed with them, I'm not gonna lie. Usually they're, you know, if it's 20 feet in the air, that's pretty tall for them sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, they pick it up, right? The more you
Yeah.
hunt the ponderosas, the more they start looking up.
Mm-hmm.
But I got bear dogs and lion dogs, so my dogs always look up. Like when I say, if I go out in the middle of the forest right now, I let my dogs out and they run around, and I said, "Go find him. Where's he at?" In the forest, they look up. In the
Mm-hmm.
desert, they put their nose down. It's crazy. They just dogs are
Well,
smart.
well, see, that's just like dogs scenting. You got track straddlers that won't never pick their head up off the ground. You got those that are movers that'll, hit a rock, pick their head up and bark, move. And then you got those that just keep their head up.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
I had a conversation with a guy. I can't say really who, but man, the information he had on lions and how they work is blow your mind.
Yep.
I mean, this is somebody who, I mean, that's what they do, and the just the common theory of lions and how they work, he'll change your mind, and he has the proof. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think when it comes to our dogs, we worry so much about the dogs these days. Unlike, Brett Vaughn tells that story about Steve Smith, I think it is, and how he went up to catch a lion, and Deli said, "Where'd you go?" And he said, "Up here." And he goes, "No, that lion went over here. I told you." And he asked him, and he went and caught that lion over there. And he asked him, "How'd you know?" And he says, "Because I'm a lion hunter, and
Yeah.
you're not." I think people worry so much about their dogs and the lines and what color they are, how hot their nose is,
Well,
that they're not worried about the
it's
lions.
oh
Do
that
your homework on the lions, right?
that well that's why it's called, you know,
That's why the
like
old timers
it's
are so much better than the new folks because they
well,
learned the game they were hunting.
yeah. And that's why they're called lion hunters, because they're hunting the lion.
Well, Jared's a poster boy, right? South Arizona right now. You know
I
where you
know.
could probably go catch a lion,
Yeah.
but where are you at
You know.
now? Do you know where you could go catch a lion right now? Maybe now, but when you first got to where you are, could you?
I,
I mean, you
I
could say I've caught lion like this, but like,
I'd still struggle, because if the
mhm.
dogs made a lose, I'd be like, well, which rock cropping did they go to? The one to the south or the one to the north? You know, where then you go and ask Casey, and he'll tell you, we need to pull the dog south. They went to the
Yeah,
ledge. He went to the ledges south. You know, and that just takes years of experience. Is where that comes down from. Is just, you know, going to the woods and hunting. You're not going to learn by reading about it.
You see that comment?
Mm-mm.
If you like your dogs and they make you happy, that's all that matters. Look at Jared's dogs; they're black.
Casey, you got some black ones too, because I got one off of it. And I got a little red one that's starting to turn black and tan.
He just don't keep the black ones.
He's got one. The mama to these.
Yeah.
Oh, Scratch.
Well, Wayne, when you come over here, that's going to change. You'll figure that out pretty
There ain't
quick.
no coons.
Nope. Very few. I know where there's a coon out in the middle of nowhere, and it's been there a long time where they live, and it's around my bear country. So I can go pursue coon all summer long, and I can I can show you the tracks and the den tree and everything.
Well, I'm gonna go coon hunting in Casey's yard. That one I turned loose last year.
Yep.
If he ain't already killed it.
I'm gonna go down and have lunch with Ryan so we can argue face to face. I've been meaning to get down there. I don't know. I think I know a lot of people that throw in Queensland or Border Collie or
Well, Houndsman bred German short hairs into the blue ticks just to try to speed them up and catch up to the Walker dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And how many of these lines, Jeremy?
There's guys right now running GSP crosses.
Yeah, for the brains, right? Correct?
Yeah. That's what the brains, the feet, the speed.
But that's how dogs are made. Look at the plot, correct? How many dogs were created that created that plot?
Well,
and it took them how long to create it?
Johannes Plot would get mad if you called the plot a hound around him in his books.
Because there was no hound, right? It was cur, wasn't it? Cur? What was it?
It was cur. Jeremy would probably know more about it than I would, but
I don't know anything about a plot dog.
Yeah, you do.
Except for I don't like the one that I got.
Yeah.
You're babysitting one.
But like
I'm helping a buddy out.
I think it was the book in Johannes Plot. He was talking about how they were actually cur dogs. The original line was actually cur dog and not a hound. Don't quote me on that. I'm a slow reader.
This is what I like about Ryan.
All of them, Blue Tick, English, and Walker were all English.
Ryan is very educated. He's way smarter. I'll call him a stupid question because I'm a dumbass. Me, I don't give a shit about what Walker was. I just don't. I'm not in that.
They were all foxhounds before they were ever coonhounds.
Yeah. I mean, they all, and how many of the lines today, he mentioned all those big names, I don't know, or Lightfoot. How many of those are actually what they are said to be?
Well, yeah, but he could
AKC went through and DNA tested a lot of labs, everything, because of people being dirty.
Mm-hmm. And it's
trying to get an edge.
Everything you do, you're going to have dirty people in it. So you might as well that's just whatever.
I think that's supposed to be trust. Can't trust anyone on a black dog.
Hey, I resemble that remark too. I have one.
It's true. I won't tell you a place I go. If I tell you where I went, it's a lie.
You see, look, most lines come from I don't know who Dr. Henry or Colonel Birdsong is. I know who Andy Esparza.
They're the ones that first brought them over.
Yeah. I know who Andy
Salazar came from George Washington, Ryan. I don't have no Mr. Birdsong or Henry dogs. Mine came from George Washington. He passed them down to
me. I mean, it's interesting subjects. It really is.
And then black and tans come over from Germany.
Hey, Germans are great at engineering, so they got to be good at breeding too, right?
They made the Volkswagen, the Porsche, and they took a Porsche and made it into a Volkswagen Bug and still sold it.
They even tried ethnic cleansing, but it didn't work out.
Not very good.
Not very good.
And yeah.
He said, yeah, they called like crazy.
Yep. Well,
Ryan, we'll have to sit down one day. I can talk bloodlines with you.
Yeah,
I
I
can.
know,
he'll be at the
can-
rendezvous.
and I can always talk horse
Who is
bloodlines
Ryan?
and don't own a horse.
Yep.
And that's quarter horses, though. I don't know anything but quarter horses.
I think if we had a bloodline talk at the rendezvous, it looked like one of those old 1700 court hearings when they're all mad and everybody's yelling and pitchforking.
Oh man.
But yeah, those Houndsman blue ticks. Now, don't get me wrong, I love an Houndsman blue tick, but you'll breed 2 normal-looking blue ticks and get a whole litter of liver spotted.
Dude,
They'll look like Sarah's dog.
Gosh, yeah. He's black. He's black and white. He ain't liver.
But I mean, they'll be shaped and colored up like a liver spotted one.
Oh yeah.
Slick head. They'll have the long houndy ears, but
Well, you definitely have to
they don't
trust who
look-
you're getting
they
dogs
don't look
from.
like the Cameron dogs.
The 99% of it when you get dogs is just know the guy you're getting dogs from. Because you will, like when I first got into it, I was getting dogs from guys I had no clue who they were, and they just posted pictures on the internet that they caught game. And then you go and you might even go hunt with them, and you're like, you bred that thing?
Well, I have
You know,
one goal. I have one goal because I have not done it yet. I have not posted a video or a picture of anything that I have bait up at the rendezvous. So there will be a Black Angus cow
I was gonna say
video this year.
and maybe he'll quit. Maybe he don't do it no more.
He might be left in Arizona. Might leave him for Casey.
Hey, I saw a wild one today when I was out roading dogs.
I did get to shock him on one bull last year.
Well, if he starts baying at one without an ear notch or a brand, you just hold him there.
Hell no, that one's mine. I did all the work.
Better bring your big freezer.
Yep.
Well, I mean, in the end, culling's a bad word. Papers is a bad word. Genetics is a bad word.
Well,
Kill over harvest all day long.
Speaking of genetics and culling and breeding and all that, that Heath Hyatt podcast with the veterinarian that works for Auburn, it was talking about how they have kind of almost perfected. Now they're breeding labs, obviously, for working dogs, like for bomb sniffing dogs and stuff, and they're trying to maximize how many they get out of a litter they actually turn out, because these dogs are going to Homeland Security. But
can we talk about cloning dogs too one day?
well, I think if you got enough money, you can have them cloned. But anyway, I think Colossal out of Dallas will clone you one if you got enough money.
It might be worth it on some good dogs.
My luck, they get run over right after I got the damn thing up big enough to start.
Hit by a car, bit by a rattlesnake, and because they're
Yeah.
cloned, the rattlesnake kills them within 3 minutes or something because of the
Right.
genetic.
Goodness.
I mean,
Well,
how much would you pay? How much would you be willing to pay to clone a dog if it did exactly what your other dog did?
If I could have my Bone Swede, Jane, Chi-Chi back, if I could have those 4 dogs back to start with, I'd be missing a kidney.
You just
Yep.
need to get a dog off Dustin. He's got
Oh,
some good
Let's
dogs.
get a dog off a bone pile. Look, his dog treats everything.
Well, his is
But
inbred.
those dogs were phenomenal dogs. Swede and Bone. Bone started my Walker dogs, and I got away from the Walker dogs, but I still have one around. But that Bone dog was the best dog I ever had. He was something special, but a lot of his was just desire. You'd have to be careful to hunt him in the heat because he'd kill himself.
Ryan's already looked it up. You can do it
Yep.
for about 50 grand.
Per dog.
Yeah.
Well, darn
Don't
it.
tell him that, Ryan.
He's
Poor
texting
Sarah's
Sarah.
already having to work enough.
I'd still be 20 grand shy if I sold a kidney.
Well, sell them both.
Sell them both. I'll have 10 grand extra.
To get another kidney.
Get another kidney.
Yep. Hey, I got a paper dog now from Ryan. I don't know why he gave him to me. Now,
Is Ryan the guy that lives in the valley?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big dude. He's been at the Hound Rendezvous. You've met him.
Yeah, he's super cool.
He wasn't
guy.
at the first one though. I
Yeah,
couldn't make
he
it
was.
last year.
Yeah. I think he likes the Irish goodbye it though.
Oh, I don't remember talking to him.
No,
at
he
the
stayed
first one.
late. I don't know where you went because he was telling me where to go.
Well, he's hunted that area with people.
But he's
hunted that area with people who hate my guts.
He's like, I don't know where to go for a line, but if you're looking for a bear, go here.
Yep. I'll get Ryan up here to come bear hunt with me this fall. So if anybody wants to come up bear hunting the first weekend of the season, Sonny Tapia does this big veteran camp hunt, and he has bands and food and all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
He's been trying to get me to go there for a long time, and I don't like committing to shit, and I committed to him, so now I have to go. But if I don't commit, I've been better at committing though, saying what I have to do.
Ain't the first weekend the weekend of the rendezvous?
No, it's the night or set whatever the weekend that first. It's like the second.
Rendezvous a line opener.
That's lion and bear.
And bear. Archery
lion,
bear,
and over-the-counter deer. That's why I like
Isn't it archery bear though?
It's archery bear on the south or
south end.
No, archery on the north end, up top.
Yeah, on top.
And then
south
rifle down south.
Yeah.
I'll look it up. I have to look it up. I don't know. They changed a lot of bear stuff.
Yeah.
So, but genetic. So, even Wayne's like, cloning is line breeding, but how many dogs are good out of a line breed even? Are your chances better, you think, on a line breed, a long-term line breed? And how long can you line breed before you have to bring something else in?
Well, see, that's what that podcast was talking about. That there has to be I think they were saying a niece to a uncle was a good line bred cross for them, or something of that nature.
Yeah, you don't want to go closer than an aunt to a nephew or a niece to an uncle.
But they were saying they had better luck out of the uncle niece cross than they did the other way.
I've heard
they said they only did that 2 generations or something before they outcrossed.
And there's some things another guy's got to like. Depending, it all goes back to genetics and XY dominant chromosomes and all that. But like, a lot of it ends up on the female.
I think 51% of it's the female, if not more.
Yeah, like you better have a top-notch female. You might have that level 5 male, but you only breed it to a 3 female. You'll have more level 3 dogs than you will have level 5s. But vice versa could be better. You have a level 3 male, but a level 5 female. You could have more level 5 dogs.
That's straight dedication when you're doing that for years and years and years and years and years. 20, 30, 40 years. I mean, whether it's papered or not, you have a piece of paper that shows what they are somewhere.
Yeah. And I like my best dog was a Finley River Walker.
Mhm. But you're talking, a lot of times we talk about stuff that's like 20 years ago, and that's a lot of breedings. And what jumped in off the wood pile there, what accidental breeding was there, or like you said, everybody uses names. Allen is a big one, Meekum, Derringer, Smith. There's a lot of dogs out there that someone told me I had a Smith dog, and when I knew a guy, he said that's not a Smith dog. I'll tell you right now, it's not a Smith dog.
Well, that's like Casey was talking about. He was talking, bloodlines on his dogs, and he's like, his cowboy dog. He's like, he came off. I forget who he came off of now. Maybe been Steve Smith, but he said every one of his dogs were built like that, looked like that.
Yeah, and it's just like my black and tans. I couldn't tell you the mom or the dad. I just know who they came from, and if he made that cross, there's a reason he made it.
Well, and you've had, like you said, 70% good luck on that,
Yeah.
and that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for a black dog, it's damn good.
But let me ask you though, is that do you feel like any of that's your fault? Maybe you didn't like the dog, you didn't give it opportunity.
You think about that stuff at night. You have a dog not turning on, and you're like, "What? Where am I screwing up? How do I get in that dog's head better?"
I've
Do
known
I need to
Jeremy
switch it?
or Jared long enough that I know he overthinks shit really bad. Like
Oh, yeah.
He could probably
when
tell
he's
you the same
walking-
thing about me.
When he's
Mhm.
walking after the dogs, trailing a lion, he's already thinking of what he's doing wrong or what he's doing right.
Oh yeah, it irks me. Like,
Yeah.
Well, just
Yeah.
some of the conversations he and I've had, we're like,
oh yeah,
how would this work? Because we've had conversations about, taking a dog from there and breeding it to one of these and seeing what we get as far as the nose, or
that's what's
would you
great
just
about
get bad
having
genetics.
That's what's great about having. I mean, everybody hunts different. I might have a different opinion, and I'm nobody. I don't feel I'm nothing. Dustin may have a different opinion, so you can call 2 or 3 guys and say, "What do you think this is?" You know,
dude,
what
I
I mean?
remember talking about people that think about stuff. I remember me and Dustin that got outran by a lion, and I left. I went back down south. This was in October. And me and Dustin got outran by this female. I caught her the day before by myself, and we went in there again to catch her again, and she spanked us. And I went home after that, and he texted me like 2 or 3 days later. He texted me at 4 a.m. "Are you up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he's like, "I think I know what she did."
Yep.
And he's like, "Call me." So I call him, and he told me, his thesis on what she did. But yeah, it was like 4 a.m. He texted me, "Are you up?"
I think lions are more meticulous in their escape and what they do than a bear. So when I offend everybody and we talk about it don't take nothing to hunt a bear just runs. In my experience, a bear just runs.
They
It's
do
just
for
trying to get
you,
away.
they don't for me.
Yeah.
They just go up a tree.
You don't live next to the reservation.
30-yard run is a long one.
Oh, I've
Like
picked dogs up 12 miles away.
Me and Dustin talked about that. He's like, "You gonna run your dogs on bear this year?" And I was like, "I got a couple I could, but my dogs aren't gonna do it." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "They'll trail." I was like, "But those lions or those bears better go right up, because if as soon as they turn around, my dogs aren't gonna quit it, but they're gonna give that bear probably a 20-foot, 30-foot circle and just dance around them." I mean, my dogs don't even pull hair on a lion on the ground, let alone a bear.
Yeah.
Well, we can remedy that. You get me close to one, and I got some that will.
Right.
That's a fact. That's a fact, Ryan.
I might need a bear or a lion to cull some of mine.
And yeah,
Oh,
bears stink, but even like, when you get on a hard running lion and they start pulling tricks and going up and
lion can
even,
jump 30 damn feet.
oh my goodness.
They can jump.
They can jump, but if technically if the dogs are still in the pocket and they can drift and do
Hmm.
stuff like that, but
But your
you
dogs,
know,
you chase lions with your dogs. Your dog, just like Dirty knows when a bear circles, he goes right through it.
yeah.
He don't run a circle. Your dogs know where to look.
Mm-hmm. And it's, well, depending on the lion. I mean, I there's this lion I hunted. I had her jump 3 days in a row, and every day she made me look stupid, and she wouldn't go anywhere far. And finally, I had to go back to work doing construction, but she wouldn't go far. She'd be about half, 3/4 a mile from where I left her the night before, and then we'd have her jump. I'd start her at 7 in the morning. We'd have her jump by 8, 9 o'clock, and all day she was zigzagging. She didn't go she didn't go in a boulder pile. She did a 360 around the boulder pile and then went up, you know, and just stupid stuff like that,
Do you feel?
And
Do you feel the females are more tricky than the males?
for the most part, I mean,
Because I hear
90%.
people. You always tell your stories, and it's always the female that threw a
Well,
loop in.
there is a waspy tom I haven't caught in 2 years. I caught him.
That's all
The
he
one down
runs.
south.
He don't
Yeah, I
turn
caught
loose on
him
the
one
big
time,
males.
and he was a running. That first time I caught him, he jumped on us twice and did some tricks, and we caught him again because he ran out of country. We caught him in a mesquite tree down in low, and now I mean he'll out. I think that year I caught him. He beat me 2 or 3 times after that. Last year he beat me 2 or 3 times, and then this last season, he beat me twice, and I
Do you
had
know?
him jumped and going
Do you know
hard.
how he's beating you?
It's different every time. Like this
Hmm.
last time, I thought we were gonna smoke him. I thought dogs. We had him jump. We got him jumped out of a boulder pile that he lays up in, and he hit the canyon bottom, and the dogs just went straight down the canyon bottom, and they were up his butt. And I'm like, oh, he's done. He's done. And then he went farther down that canyon this time than he usually does, and he went off into this country where it's just greasewood and that real hard white dirt. It's not alkali or anything or whatever. I don't know what you call it, but where he went into, it looked like Mars. Just real sparse mesquites and greasewood. We lost him in there. But I mean, one time he led the dogs out, and I had to get up there. I watched dogs had him caught in a boulder pile, and my Charlie dog was on top of the boulder pile barking down at him, and all the other dogs were underneath barking at him. He was in the hole in this boulder pile, and my Charlie dog was on top of it barking down at him. She jumped off the top and went down with the other dogs, and as soon as she went down and with the other dogs, he jumped out where she was standing and took off, jumped about, I don't know, 6 foot 7 foot ledge up and was gone. And I was about 200 yards from the dogs when I saw it. I was sitting there watching them, and I ran down there and I started throwing dogs up the ledge, and it didn't matter. He was gone. I mean, we trailed him till dark, but
Hmm.
he's just smart. And they just get dog wise. They hear dogs coming.
Well, that's like a female that you and I ran. You said you've run her before, and she's
Mhm.
real keen on the
And
dogs.
and once they get away, right, they know how they got away, and they'll do it again.
Oh yes. Well, it's just like a soured horse. If he bucks you off and you take the saddle off of him,
He'll do it
what's
again.
he's gonna do it again.
Yep.
You know.
Well,
Secret to that is don't get bucked off.
Right? Don't let him get away then, right?
don't take a six string pony trail ride that you've never done before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just turn them
man.
loose.
Just turn him loose. That's why I told him. Just let him go back. Just let him go.
I had to get him past the cattle guard. Once I got him past the cattle guard, they had a free shot to the hay pasture. I just had to get him past that cattle guard.
Yep.
I'm surprised they weren't all sitting under the hay barn eating.
No, they ran past the hay barn. They walked around the hitching rail, blew out, and ran past the dogs and ran straight to the hay pasture. And I opened the gate of the hay pasture and pushed him in there with the buggy, and then took me an hour to catch him out of the hay pasture so I could take the saddles off of him.
I think I figured that out why they blew out like that. They weren't used to seeing all them black dogs tied up over next to the bunkhouse.
Probably
Scared him a little.
Yeah.
Well, there's our few rabbit holes and our opinions on culling.
Every dog's got a purpose. You just got to find its niche. Whether it be a house dog or
exactly
same
right.
way with people.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to match the dog to the right owner.
Oh yeah.
And if you're not the right owner, you find another one.
Yep. But don't breed. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, you should have told Chris that a long time ago.
Right.
Yep. Hey, I figured it out.
I talked to one of his spawn the other day.
After
She's
9.
sassy on the phone.
What
you know
is
what I
this?
started to do, Chris?
Hmm.
I started to call her office and talk to her upper echelon and get her some little sketch job to do. Somebody, Cody Lynn, put her on trash detail or something.
Yep. Shit, Cody Lynn's a biker now. Talking about. So, yep. Got hound trials this weekend. If anybody wants to go. Probably gonna rain all weekend. I hope so. I hope it rains a little bit. Them hound trials get dusty.
I was gonna go to the horse, hound, and mule sale, but I don't think so anymore.
I wanted to, but man, it's kind of small this year, right?
There's a black horse there I really like. I wanted to go see if I could snag it.
I'll give you a black horse. I got a black horse.
I know you do.
Chupacabra. He's a Mustang. So all you need is a halter to ride him.
Perfect.
So
he'll give you about 14 mules too.
Right.
No, I only got.
Casey needs a good mule, Chris.
You know what Casey said about mules?
I
don't want anyone getting mad now.
Oh, it don't matter what you say. They'll get mad either way.
Oh, me and Casey were talking about the verses between horses and mules, and Casey's a horse guy through and through, you know.
Oh yeah.
And he's all, the only reason guys ride mules is because they're proud to ride a cow.
And Casey's got a donkey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he's got some nice horses. Like Bucky, that horse I rode, he's a real pleasure to ride.
You should breed. There you go. Yep, you should breed your best mules. I'm trying.
They've had 75 cases in the whole existence of mules. I was just reading the other day. There've been 75 cases of natural horn breeding.
Well, don't give me. Don't quote me on this, but so what? A mule has 63 chromosomes. Horse has 64.
Something
but
like
every
that.
once in a while,
65.
Every once in a while, those mules, I mean, they're half bred. They'll have that extra chromosome or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they can breed.
Yeah, out of the 30 million mules in the world, 75 have foaled.
Yep. So you never know. You never know.
No.
Well, guys, Jared, thanks for giving us your time. You're so busy. Surprised.
Oh, he's a
surprised.
slave.
I feel privileged.
I feel
privileged, Chris. I've talked to him 2 nights in a row.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, for some reason I can't make calls at Casey's. It won't work with his internet. My phone.
Did you turned your phone on Wi-Fi calling?
Yeah, and it's not working. It says I have to call customer service. The only way you can get a hold of me is by calling me on Facebook.
You got a iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Huh.
I don't know.
That's
It's weird. Me and Casey tried getting it to work the other night before he left, and it wouldn't work.
I can
Which
tell
is
when
like-
he's down at the ranch because I get Snapchat phone calls from him.
Yeah, and me and Casey trying to figure my phone out. It's like the blind leading the blind. We're both technologically impaired,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah.
So it's like I was like, my Facebook phone call thing works. I'll just call you on Facebook
Yep.
when you leave.
Look at Casey's comment.
If you have time to study that shit, you're not working hard enough.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, y'all get to work building down a new bathroom.
Yeah. Start on that again tomorrow.
Y'all just go on into Harbor Freight and get you a winch.
Yep.
Save your back.
Right.
Yep. All righty, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week. Rendezvous. August. Always have to look up August 21st, 23rd.
I'll
If you have
be
Horse
there.
squirrel-
Hound meal sale.
Yeah. Yep.
They have
I
a
had-
couple nice dogs in there. I looked at.
There's not as many as there was, though, right? Does it
I
seem
don't-
like it's a little
I feel
bit?
like they got a bunch of puppies, but I didn't see
Yeah.
a whole bunch of big dogs.
They have a couple 2-year-olds, and then there's one older dog that I really like. Me and Casey were talking. Well, we were talking about the one older dog, but
You know you can bid online, Jared.
I know
Yep.
I might do that Saturday.
And then you could just say, "Oh man, Sarah, I quit the bid. I don't know what happened. I don't know how to use these computers."
Casey's trying to get me in the doghouse now. I wasn't talking about her being heavy. I'm just
Oh,
saying,
it don't matter. It
you're
don't
getting
matter. You're in
old,
trouble
Casey.
now.
You're getting old, Casey. You got a week back.
Yep. All right, guys. Till next week.
All right.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah. Good talk.
Adios, fellas.
Later.
See y'all in a month.
Perfect.
See you in a month. Yeah,
See
it's
you in a
not
month.
long. Thank you, sir. All right, guys. azhhr.com. You guys got to get your dinners ordered too, because that's probably going to have a due date on those if you're going to the rendezvous. So get on there. If you go to azwda.com or azhhr.com, there's a link that will get you over to Diane's page, and you can order the dinners. I think it's $35 still. There's an option to sign up for Arizona Working Dog Alliance, and if you do that on their site, you will get $10 or 10 raffle tickets. So free with it till we fight again. You educate us, Ryan. You educate us. There's a squirrel hunt October 16th. If you have squirrel dogs, it'd be cool to bring up because this is the first year I think we're introducing squirrel dogs. So I'm taking Stinker. Other than that, the hound trials are this weekend. They're over by Clint Wells. You could go to azwda.com, and I put some information on for that too. So appreciate everybody who comes on and stays on and checks us out and listens. This will be a podcast by Friday, hopefully, if I get it done. And that's it. Remember, guys, keep your powder dry and stay safe out there.
Well, bye.